stigma going around that if you don't have this like mysterious source of income, then you are a failure.
So I really enjoy that video because it's something that like very, very much so resonates with me. She pretty much explains that it's okay to have a job and try to be an entertainer at the same time, and it doesn't make you less of an entertainer for having a job. Which might sound silly to a lot of you. But for me growing up, I started doing magic in the first grade, and I didn't start doing like magic shows until middle school. And then I started learning comedy in college, and then I started meshing both magic and comedy shortly after. Even though I went to college, most of my mindset was, I'm going to be a magician. I'm going to be the greatest magician I can be. Performing for people is very fulfilling, and doing it with something that you can create even yourself, like with comedy, like I write my own jokes. So it's so very cool to like write something and have people like it when you put it out into the world. It feels like a pullback to try and get a job because it's like, you feel like you've lost. Even though we're in the era of posting videos and it's very easy to interact with people, especially here on social media, it is very difficult to get people to stop and say hi to you at least. To get people to subscribe, to get people to listen to like your music, to get people to buy a ticket, it is so difficult. And I mean, there's ways around this. You can do a lot of advertising, but it takes money, and sometimes entertaining, you don't have a lot. Even then, I travel, I go on these little tour spurts, and like touring is expensive. Like it is insanely expensive. I've gotten to the point where I've like slept in my car and like just showered at a Planet Fitness and ate McDonald's in the morning with the little money I made from the show. Now, I do work well when my back's against the wall. I feel like I'm just very, very motivated like that. I don't like, if I'm like doing too good in life, I feel like I don't push myself too hard. However, though, it's only so many times you can burn that candle. The idea would always to be making money off of tickets, off of whatever merch you have, or like social media, and be able to live off that. That's always the dream, but it's not, it's very, very difficult to attain. Now, I recently just got a job. It was one of those things that I dreaded doing because I felt like I gave up on being an entertainer. And it's not very much so that at all. You just have to sit there and focus on the fact that, hey, I have bills to pay, and some of this money can go into advertising, some of this money can go into different avenues that can make even what you're doing a little bit better, actually. Now, you are going to come into days where you just sit there and you're like, man, let me get out of here and just focus like 110% more on what I was doing. Or you just like, you get in your head, you get bad imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is the worst, but like you are going to get in your head, but at the end of the day, it's like, at least you have something consistent. And when you get off, clock out and just focus so much more on that, like the other part, like the thing you want to do. There's 24 hours in a day. You work for 8 or whatever, how many hours you're working, and then you put the rest of that time into just doing what you love. And communicate. I know there's a lot of businesses that are, sometimes they just want to like, oh, you're going to do this. Where I work, I'm really chill and with everybody, and it's kind of just like, hey, is it okay if I work a morning shift? I have a show later on tonight. Can we make that happen? Normally, like 9 times out of 10, it's like, yeah, you can do that, whatever. But yeah, it is not a bad thing to get a job. Definitely, it doesn't make you less of an artist or an entertainer if you do that. Just trust the process.